There's a single word, discovered quite by accident by Louise Hay, that attracts more money than 1,000 affirmations. It's so simple you'll think I'm joking. But this word radically transformed her life. A secret she guarded for years, before sharing it with the world. Have you tried those lengthy affirmation lists? I am prosperous. I deserve abundance. Money flows easily to me. Beautiful phrases, aren't they? But why don't they work for most people? Louise Hay discovered something unsettling. She realized that the more words you use to manifest, the more you confuse your subconscious. It's like giving complex instructions to a 3-year-old. The child gets lost along the way. Let me tell you how she discovered this. Louise was going through one of the worst financial periods of her life. She'd just come out of a devastating divorce, was living in a tiny apartment in New York City, making ends meet with side hustles, barely able to pay the bills. She was trying every manifestation technique she knew. Long affirmations in the morning, detailed visualizations before bed, gratitude lists, candle rituals. Nothing worked. In fact, it seemed the more she tried, the harder it got. Until one night, desperate and exhausted, she threw herself onto the bed and spoke just one word. A word that came from deep within her soul, without planning, without technique, just a raw, true, urgent word. And it was that night that something extraordinary happened. But before I tell you what that word is, you need to understand why it works in a way that no complex affirmation can. The human subconscious works like an old radio. It can only tune into one frequency at a time. When you bombard it with long, complicated phrases, it's like trying to tune into 5 stations simultaneously. The result is static. Louise Hay discovered that there's a specific frequency of prosperity, and this frequency can be activated by a single word spoken with the right intention. Think of it this way. When you're in a lot of pain and you yell, "Ouch," that word carries the full intensity of your pain. When you're surprised and you say, "Wow," that word expresses all your astonishment. One word, when charged with genuine emotion, has more power than 100 empty phrases. Modern neuroscience has confirmed this. When you focus on a single word, you activate what scientists call a single frequency response. Your brain stops dividing its attention and concentrates all neural energy on a single intention. That's why one-syllable mantras, like Om, have been used for thousands of years. Ancient masters already knew that simplicity is power. But Louise Hay went further. She didn't just discover that one word is more powerful. She discovered which specific word resonates at the exact frequency of material abundance. And this discovery happened in the most unexpected way. That night, when she was at rock bottom financially, she wasn't trying to manifest anything. She was just being brutally honest with herself. And from that brutal honesty came a word that changed everything. The next day, she received an unexpected phone call. A job she didn't even know existed. Payment that covered her bills for the entire month. Coincidence? She thought so, until she started testing this word consciously. For a week, every time she felt anxious about money, instead of using long affirmations, she simply took a deep breath and spoke that word just once. With full intention, with complete truth. By the end of the week, 3 extraordinary things had happened. A former client reappeared with a project. She found $50 in a bag she hadn't used in months. and she received an unexpected discount on a medical bill that had been worrying her. That's when Louise Hay understood that she had discovered something revolutionary. She began to study the power of this specific word in depth. She discovered that it activates not only the subconscious but also the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for putting us in a state of receptivity. When you're anxious or desperate for money, you activate the sympathetic nervous system, which is the fight or flight system. In this state, you literally repel opportunities because you're vibrating at a frequency of scarcity and panic. But this specific word that Louise discovered has the ability to instantly change your internal state, from scarcity to abundance, from despair to receptivity, from resistance to flow. And the most incredible thing is that you don't need to believe it will work. The word works on a physiological level, regardless of your faith or skepticism. Dr. Herbert Benson of Harvard University proved that certain words automatically activate what he calls the relaxation response. And Louise Hay discovered that there's a specific word that activates not only relaxation, but a frequency of magnetic attraction. She tested this word with hundreds of people over the years, and the pattern always repeated itself. People who had been struggling financially for a long time began to attract unexpected opportunities in a matter of days. Not because the word was magic, but because it changed the person's internal state so profoundly that they stopped unconsciously pushing away the opportunities that had always been around them. Roberto, a businessman from Brasilia, was on the verge of bankruptcy. Accumulated debts, no new clients, no way out. When he heard about Louise Hay's technique, he thought it was nonsense, but he decided to try it out of desperation. For 5 days, every morning when he woke up, and every night before going to bed, he spoke that word just once. Just once, but with full presence and intention. On the 6th day, he received a call from a client he hadn't spoken to in 2 years, offering a contract that saved his company. Roberto told me, "I can't explain how it worked. I only know that it worked, and that I stopped feeling desperate and started feeling confident for no apparent reason." This is exactly the transformation that happens. The word doesn't magically attract money. It changes your internal frequency, and when your frequency changes, you begin to make different decisions, to perceive different opportunities, to vibrate at an energy that attracts instead of repels. Ana Luisa, a designer from Salvador, had been unemployed for 8 months. She sent out resumes every day, went to interviews, but nothing happened. She always came in second. She always almost got it, but in the end it didn't work out. When she started using Louise Hay's word, she didn't change anything in her job search strategy, but she changed how she felt during the interviews. She stopped vibrating despair and started vibrating confidence. Within 2 weeks, she received 3 job offers. 3, after 8 months of nothing. What changed? Her energy, her presence, her internal frequency. And that's the genius of Louise Hay's discovery. She realized the problem was never the lack of opportunities. The problem was always our inability to recognize and seize the opportunities that already exist. When you're vibrating scarcity, you literally don't see abundance even when it's right in front of you. It's like being on a radio frequency that can't pick up certain stations. But this specific word automatically tunes you into the frequency of prosperity. And when you're on that frequency, opportunities appear from everywhere. Louise Hay kept this discovery a secret for years because she knew people would find it too simple to be true. We live in a culture that believes transformation has to be complicated, that change has to be difficult, that results have to come through a lot of effort. But the truth is the opposite. The greatest transformations come through radical simplicity. And this word that Louise discovered is the very definition of radical simplicity. A single syllable containing more transformative power than entire libraries of self-help books. She always said, people complicate things because they're afraid the solution is too simple. But the universe operates through simple laws. Gravity is simple. Magnetism is simple. Abundance is also simple. The secret isn't in doing more. The secret is in doing less, but with full presence and intention. This word works because it completely bypasses the analytical mind and speaks directly to the most primitive part of your brain, which is where your survival and abundance patterns reside. It's like having a remote control for your internal frequency. One click, and you change the channel from scarcity to abundance, from resistance to flow, from repulsion to magnetic attraction. And the most extraordinary thing is that you feel the change happening in real time. The moment you pronounce the word with the right intention, something adjusts internally. You feel a shift in your chest, your breath, your energy. Louise Hay always said you know the word is working when you feel an immediate sense of relief, as if a tension you didn't even know you were carrying is instantly released. And that feeling of relief is the first sign that your frequency has changed, that you've moved out of scarcity mode and into receptivity mode. From there, it's a matter of time until opportunities start appearing. Not because you're forcing anything, but because you finally stopped resisting the natural flow of abundance. This word is like a key that unlocks a door that's always been there, but you couldn't open it because you were trying with the wrong key. And now you're going to discover exactly what that word is and how to use it in the way Louise Hay discovered to be most effective. Because you're still here, I'm going to reveal what Louise Hay discovered on that night of despair. The word that changed everything for her, and that can change everything for you too. The word is yes. You might be thinking, seriously? That's it? And it's exactly that reaction that proves why this discovery is so powerful. Our minds have been conditioned to believe that solutions need to be complex to be effective. But Louise Hay discovered that yes isn't just a word. It's a complete frequency. It's a direct command to the universe. It's a declaration of total receptivity. Let me explain the science behind this that will blow your mind. When you say no, your entire body contracts. Muscles tense. Breathing becomes shallow. Energy closes down. When you say yes, the opposite happens. Muscles relax. Breathing deepens. Energy expands. Louise Hay discovered that most people live in a constant state of internal no when it comes to money. I don't deserve it. It's not possible. It won't work out. I'm not the type to get rich. And each internal no acts as an energetic barrier that blocks opportunities. But when you pronounce yes with conscious intention, you're literally commanding your internal energy to open itself to possibilities. You're saying yes to abundance, yes to opportunities, yes to prosperity, yes to deserving it. On that night when Louise was at rock bottom, what came from her soul wasn't an elaborate affirmation. It was a desperate yes to anything that could change her situation. And it was that yes, charged with genuine urgency, that activated an instantaneous energetic shift in her life. But here's what's even more fascinating. Louise Hay discovered that it's not just any yes that works. You need to say the word in a very specific way to activate the frequency of abundance. She developed what she called the magnetic yes protocol, and I'm going to teach you exactly how to do it. First, you don't say yes with your mouth. You say yes with your entire body. It's a complete physical experience. Second, you don't say yes to convince the universe of something. You say yes as if you've already received the blessing you've been waiting for. Third, you don't repeat yes multiple times like a mantra. You say it once, but with all your presence concentrated in that moment. Here's the exact protocol that Louise Hay developed. Step 1. Stand up, feet shoulder-width apart, eyes closed. Step 2. Breathe deeply 3 times, releasing all tension from your body with each exhale. Step 3. Place both hands on your chest, over your heart. Step 4. Visualize a golden light entering through the top of your head and filling your entire body. Step 5. When you feel completely filled with this light, raise your arms upward as if embracing the sky and pronounce yes once, letting the word echo throughout your body. Step 6. Keep your arms raised for 10 seconds, feeling the energy of the word reverberating in every cell. Step 7. Slowly lower your arms and give thanks for already having received what you asked for. Louise Hay discovered that when you do this in this specific way, 3 things happen simultaneously. First, your nervous system stops operating in scarcity mode and enters abundance mode. Second, your energetic frequency aligns with the frequency of prosperity. Third, you send a clear command to your subconscious that you are ready to receive. Carla, a psychologist from Recife, was going through a serious financial crisis. Empty office, overdue bills, no way out in sight. When she heard about the yes protocol, she found it a little strange but decided to try it. On the first day doing the protocol, she felt ridiculous, but she also felt something she hadn't felt in months: hope. On the 3rd day, a former patient called wanting to resume sessions and referred 2 more people. On the 5th day, she received an invitation to give talks at a company, something that had never happened before. On the 7th day, a friend offered her space to practice in a clinic, splitting the costs and expanding her clientele. Carla told me, "I don't know if it was coincidence or if it really worked. I only know that my energy changed completely. I stopped feeling like a victim of circumstances and started feeling like the creator of my reality. And that's exactly the transformation the yes protocol operates. It takes you out of the victim role and puts you in the role of an active co-creator of your prosperity." But Louise Hay discovered something even more powerful. She realized that there are specific moments of the day where the yes has more power of manifestation. The first moment is immediately upon waking, in the first 5 minutes after you open your eyes. At this moment, your subconscious is still receptive, and your analytical mind hasn't yet taken full control. The second moment is during what she called micro-financial crises. Those moments when you catch yourself thinking about the bill due tomorrow, the money you don't have, the opportunity that didn't come. Instead of panicking in these moments, Louise Hay taught people to do the yes protocol immediately, transforming anxiety into energetic command. Thiago, a salesman from Sao Paulo, was going through the worst sales month of his career. 0 contracts closed in 3 weeks. Pressure from the boss. Family demanding results. When he learned about the protocol, he started using it at the exact moments when he felt despair hitting him. Every time he looked at the unmet goal, instead of panicking, he did the yes protocol. In 1 week, he closed 5 contracts. The best result. In the last 6 months, Thiago discovered that the yes instantly changed his emotional state during sales. He stopped selling out of despair and started selling out of confidence. Louise Hay always explained that despair repels, but confidence attracts, and the yes is the fastest way to change from one state to the other. But there's a secret within the secret that Louise Hay only revealed to her most advanced students. The yes doesn't just work as a word. It works as an energetic magnet that you carry within you. After doing the protocol for a few days, you start to feel a different internal vibration, as if you had a magnetic field working in your chest. And this magnetic field attracts people, situations, and opportunities aligned with prosperity. Marcia, a businesswoman from Curitiba, told me that after 2 weeks of using the protocol, she began to notice that interesting people appeared in her life, out of nowhere. An investor sat next to her at a cafe and struck up a conversation. A supplier offered special conditions that he never offered to anyone. A client referred her to 3 other companies. It was as if I were emitting a signal that attracted exactly what I needed, she told me. And that's exactly what happens. The yes calibrates your internal frequency to capture and attract opportunities that have always been there, but that you couldn't perceive because you were vibrating at a different frequency. Louise Hay discovered that prosperity isn't about getting things that don't exist. It's about energetically aligning yourself with things that already exist, but that you weren't prepared to receive. The yes protocol prepares you to receive. It opens all the internal channels that were blocked by fear, guilt, and a feeling of unworthiness. But there's a part of the protocol that Louise Hay considered the most important and that few people know. After saying yes and feeling the energy reverberating in your body, you need to ask yourself a specific question. What do I need to do now to honor this yes? Because the yes isn't just about receiving. It's about becoming someone capable of receiving and sustaining prosperity. Sometimes the answer that comes is simple. Charge what you're worth. Finish that project. Call that person. Invest in that idea. Other times the answer is deeper. Forgive your father. Stop sabotaging yourself. Believe that you deserve it. The yes opens the door, but you need to choose to walk through it. Luis, a graphic designer from Porto Alegre, did the protocol religiously but saw no results. Until one day, after saying yes, he asked himself what he needed to do to honor that energy. The answer that came was clear. Stop working for crumbs and create a real value proposition. He spent the weekend restructuring his services, increased his prices by 300%, and created a portfolio that reflected his true value. In 1 month, he was only serving premium clients and earning 3 times more working half the time. Prata, yes, not only attracted the opportunities, it gave Luis the courage to honor his own worth, and that's the complete magic of the protocol. It not only changes your external energy, it transforms your internal relationship with prosperity. Louise Hay always said that the word yes carries within it all the other words you need. When you say yes with full presence, you are saying, yes, I deserve it. Yes, I am capable. Yes, I accept abundance. Yes, I trust the process. Yes, I open myself to possibilities. All of this in a single syllable pronounced with conscious intention. Now I'm going to teach you the 3 advanced variations of the protocol that Louise Hay developed for specific situations. Variation 1. emergency yes. For moments of acute financial crisis, you place your right hand on your heart, take a deep breath and whisper, yes, as if it were an urgent prayer. Do this 3 times in a row. Louise Hay guaranteed that. This version directly accesses the universe's emergency frequency. Variation 2. Gratitude yes. For when you receive unexpected money or opportunities, you hold the money or think about the opportunity, smile, and say yes as a thank you that at the same time asks for more. This creates a cycle of continuous abundance. Variation 3. Multiplication yes. For when you want to amplify results, you visualize your financial goal, say yes, and immediately visualize that goal multiplying by 10. Louise Hay said that this version programs the subconscious to think on a larger scale. The most impressive thing is that Louise Hay used only the basic yes to get out of total bankruptcy and build a multi-million-dollar publishing empire. She always said that in the most difficult moments of building the publishing house, when everything seemed impossible, she would close her eyes, do the yes protocol, and always receive clarity about the next step. Yes, Louise Hay would say, connected me to a wisdom that transcended my limited mind. That connection to expanded wisdom is perhaps the most valuable benefit of this protocol. Because when you say yes correctly, you're not just attracting money. You are aligning yourself with universal intelligence, an intelligence that knows exactly how to manifest your goals through the most effective pathways. Sophia, a lawyer from Florianopolis, used the yes protocol to resolve a seemingly impossible situation. Her firm was failing, her partner absconded with funds, and lawsuits piled up. After a week of using the protocol, she had an epiphany, a legal strategy she'd never considered before. It resolved all her problems at once and brought in new clients. It was as if the solution was downloaded directly into my mind, she told me. That's the difference between forcing solutions with a limited mind and opening yourself to receive solutions from infinite intelligence. Yes is the key that unlocks this connection. Louise Hay always concluded her workshops on this protocol by saying, "It's not about believing it will work. It's about allowing it to work." And allowing is precisely that. Saying yes with your whole being and trusting that the universe knows how to respond. The technique is here. The secret has been revealed. The most powerful word on the planet is on your tongue. The only question that remains is, will you use the power that has always been available to you? If this video resonated deeply within you, it was no coincidence. Subscribe to the channel and activate notifications, because knowledge like this reaches you precisely when you need it most. Remember Louise Hay's final words. A single word spoken with full presence has more transformative power than 1,000 words spoken on autopilot. Your word is yes. Your time is now. Your prosperity is waiting for your permission. Say yes, and allow the magic of abundance to enter your life.